90% of the new players I've taught this month have all turned up with a slice. Now we've managed to correct those slices in a variety of different ways. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 4 key things I think you can do to help reduce your slice at home. That'll be easy to do and will help you hit it straighter. But before we get into the video, if you could please hit that subscribe button. I release new videos like this every week that I think are going to help your game, so don't miss out. Oh no. So if you didn't know already, the reason you slice the ball is because you have a left swing direction with an open club face, and it's the difference between the path and the face that creates the tilt in the spin axis, creates the side spin that curves it off to the right. So what we have to do is 2 things. We first have to get the face squared up to the path to reduce the curve, and then that would give us a shot that goes straight left, and then we need to change the swing direction to make sure that the ball flies straight but also sets off straight. So tip number 1 is just make sure that you've got a correct setup, and by that I mean good alignment. So too often do I see a player turn up, their feet are aiming out to the right and their shoulders are aiming left, and what that does is that creates a position where it's really easy to cut across the ball, swing too far to the left for a right-handed player, that slice swing path, and makes it too hard to square the face up. Now it's very difficult when your feet, hips and shoulders all have a different alignment to make a good swing and square the face up, so you are always going to slice the ball if you do this. Now what we know and what we can see by just looking at a few different tour players is they will generally set up to the ball with their lead forearm slightly above their trail forearm. And as a golfer, what you should be trying to do is get into your aim, make sure your feet are square to the parallel line that you're aiming the club face on, and then it's a really good idea just to then drop your trail elbow, drop that right elbow for me underneath my left, and that will automatically square my shoulders up and square my forearms up, especially to my feet. And what that does is that straight away puts me in a position where I feel like I want to get the club more behind me, I want to hit it more from the inside, and I definitely wouldn't naturally take the club out and then cut across it from this position where my trail elbow is below my lead elbow. First thing I want you to make sure you're doing is getting into a position where your shoulders, hips, knees and feet are all aligned, and even better yet, I want your forearms almost slightly closed. Right elbow underneath left elbow, and what that does is gets me in a position where I'm going to draw the ball. Wow, that has really drawn. Tip number 2 is going to help us square the face up, and it's all to do with our grip. Now, I see all the time, this is the most common swing fault I see, golfers gripping the club too much in their palms of their lead hand. So for a right-handed player, too much in the palm of my left hand. So what that does is it makes it very easy to get that face open in the backswing. It makes it very hard to get the face squared up to stop the ball starting right now or even curving to the right. Now we know to hit a draw, we want that club face to be close to the path out to the right, face close to path. So what we need to do is get our grip in a position that's going to encourage that. So we need a stronger grip. So what that looks like is laying the club down our fingers of our left hand and then wrapping our hand over the top so that my left thumb runs down the right hand side of the grip. And what that does is that first of all it gives me more control. Having the club sitting in the fingers, resting in the fingers, just gives you more control in your wrists and your hands, but it also makes my hands want to turn over earlier. Turn over more and turn over earlier. And what that is going to do is encourage the club face to shut down, get the face shut to path, and get that ball to start curving left. We've got to ditch that weak grip, that palmy weak grip, because we're always going to make open swings gripping it like that. Get our hand over, get into a nice strong grip in the fingers, which is going to shut the face, and again it's just going to help us hit that draw. If you are enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate if you just gave this video a like and subscribe if you don't already. It helps YouTube push this to more people and helps me grow, so I really appreciate the help. And right, let's get back to it. Third tip I want to give slicers that's going to help them stop slicing is more hip turn. So it's very unusual that I meet a player that I've never taught before and for them to have loads of hip turn, especially if they slice it. So the more you turn your hips back, the more shoulder turn that you're going to be able to get, and the flatter you're going to be able to swing. And what that does is, the flatter our backswing, the easier it is to have the club come down on the inside. If I don't turn my hips in the backswing, what happens is I've got to artificially create some length to my swing, and that's going to involve me lifting my hands up. Now you can play well from a position where you've lifted your hands, but it's very difficult if you're a new player or a high handicapper to go from hands up to then club inside on the downswing. I just don't see it very often. It's not impossible, I just don't see it very often. What is better for these sorts of players is to make a bigger hip turn, have a slightly more rounded swing, which is then going to allow a shallower plane into the ball and a more inside. All of that starts with having a more hip turn. So you can do this by feeling like your right leg straightens on the way back, or you can feel like your right hip goes backwards. I don't really mind what feels right for you, but we know we need more hip turn. So as I swing back, I want my right hip to go back, my right leg will straighten, my left knee will bend. That allows me to get into a flat turn position and then hit it from the inside. So let's turn the hips more in the backswing along with the other things, and then we're not going to slice it. The final tip I want to give players who slice the ball and are going to come for lessons is to work on their posture at impact. So all good players, when they strike the driver, have their hips forward, their head back, and they will often have their right forearm underneath their left. Some players even have a big gap between the forearms. Now, in order to do that, you've got to shift your weight but keep your head back. And in doing that, you can see how that drops the club behind me and gets me into that inside path draw position. So what I want golfers to do, once they've done the first three things of grip, forearms and hip turn, if you're still slicing it, we can fix it by working on our posture at impact. So I want you to go to the top, swing down, feel like head stayed back, hips gone forwards, create that gap between the forearms, just rehearse that position, get a feel for what it feels like, and then try and recreate that in the swing. So that's turn, hips forward, head back, gap in the forearms, and that is going to create me a draw impact. And if you can do that, combine that with the other four things, then I'm absolutely certain you're not going to slice the ball. Let's put an end to this pandemic of slices, this new player slice that we have, and let's start working on some good fundamentals that are going to produce draws and help you enjoy the game more, hit it a bit straighter and score low. We've got good body alignment to address. We've got a good strong left hand grip. We're going to turn our hips on the way back and we're going to hit it with our hips forward and head back at impact. Yeah, that's curving. Fortunately, I'm on a dog leg, so that's bending around the corner, but you can see that by doing this, I can't stop drawing the ball. I draw the ball anyway, so all these things sort of almost turn my shots into a hook. But doing those four things have worked so well for me on the driving range with golfers that I'm certain if you go work on them, then you're going to stop slicing your driver and enjoy the game more, because life is so much easier if you get off the tee well. Thanks very much for watching the videos. If you can please like and comment to boost the engagement, and subscribe if you don't already, that'd be great. If you like what I put out in these videos, you like what I say about technique, I can actually help you with your game no matter where you are in the world. So if you just want to click the link in the bio, it'll take you to Skillist, which is an online coaching platform, and there you can look to see what I do, and actually I can help you with your game. So analyze your swing, give you some drills and tips to help you improve, so we can work together to help you lower your handicap.